I'm gonna do. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hello.
We're doing a bit, huh?
So no, don't tell them I'm doing a bit. I just unmuted. Stop it. All right. Okay. So we're start. Look, we're doing the bit. Okay. Look, last week we did All In. So look, we're playing StarCraft 2 All In. It's the last episode of Wings of Liberty. Yeah, that was the bit. You ruined it. It's a it's a good mission. It's a really good. It's called All In, and we finished last week by playing All In or watching All In. Which I didn't like queue this up. I just had an old save, fortunately. So I don't know what tech I have. I probably need infantry weapons and vehicle weapons. What do I have? I have tech reactors. Cool. Okay. Okay. So this week we're doing Rubicon. We're doing the Galactic Barrier. Oh, I also need to build bunkers. And we're doing Rosetta. Two of those I feel like are pretty self-explanatory, really. Rubicon,
Yeah.
of course, is a reference to... I can't think of anything other than Julius Caesar.
The Jeep Rubicon.
The Jeep Rubicon.
Rubicon
yes, thank you.
Isn't it a desert or like a trail or something? Off-road
It's
trail.
a river in Italy. Yes, it
Where
is
people
clearly
go
a reference
off-roading?
to the Jeep Rubicon. Thank you. So we're
Yes.
gonna do some off-roading, like in Star Trek
Not enough minerals.
It's
movie with the off-roading.
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Nemesis. Yeah.
I know so
Yep,
much about Star Trek. I have such a good memory.
Yeah.
Grant.
And then the Galactic Barrier. We're gonna go to the Galactic Barrier. My SCVs are gonna pop out on the wrong side. Why do they do this to me? And Rosetta, we're gonna try to figure out how these weird Cthulhu aliens talk.
Oh yeah, Rosetta Stone. All right, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I also need missile turrets because they're gonna send.
Not enough minerals.
Well, this is the ground version, I believe. Well, they're gonna send overlords.
And Rubicon, they're going to blow up the DMA,
Forces are under attack.
Right.
and a
Yes.
new one will emerge.
Base is under attack. Minerals.
Wait, if this is the ground version, right? Are they supposed to have any mutalisks on ground? I don't know.
Our SC is under attack.
I haven't played this mission in a while. But yeah, hope everyone's queued up, revved up, and good to go, as they would say in StarCraft. So how's the weather? How's the kayaking,
It's,
Selma?
Well, we didn't have any major incidents when we did that. There was a couple weeks back, I think. But the Baron, yeah, it was nice. Just sat in the water in the boat, watching the row past.
Nice. Sick.
Base is under attack.
I also need side disruptors. Can I fit a side disruptor in here? Yes, just barely. Good. I didn't want to move my tank.
Our SCVs are under attack. Your forces are under attack.
I mean, I don't have anything else to talk about for these episodes. I mean, we're gonna watch them. They're pretty good episodes. The ending of this season, I think, is really good.
Yeah.
Previous seasons, it's been a little iffy sometimes.
Base is under attack.
I feel like every season has been the exact same story. They just kind of get a little better at it.
Heads up, sir. I'm detecting a large group of Zerg
So-
flyers.
Large group of Zerg flyers.
The
So it
fourth-
is the flyer version. I could have sworn
The
this was...
s-
In the
fourth
loading screen, it
attempt.
gave me a tooltip for how to do the ground version. It warned me about nidus worms. Why is the... Alright.
So by the fourth attempt at this storyline, they've become slightly above mediocre and it's okay-ish.
I think it's better than okay. I really like the Cthulhu people.
Yeah.
And then we never see them again.
Well, they live
Doesn't it
outside the
need to see
galaxy.
them
What do you
again?
want?
Forces are under
And also, there's only one more season of the show, so...
under attack.
Right?
Oh god, there's brood lords because I wasn't expecting... Oh wait, hang on. We have 15 seconds. No, hang on. 15 seconds to queue up. I'm gonna save this and maybe I'll come back to it later. Okay. I have it queued up. I'm not sure. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, play, and I'll share the countdown on Discord. Very helpful. There we go. Okay, we're ready. We did it. Oh no, I could have kept playing because we don't need the recap. We know what happened.
True.
I forgot that they blew up the DMA so fast. It's been like 2 episodes since they defected.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
There's a long end to the season, which is interesting.
It's like a 3-part ending.
Yeah.
Well, the entire season is serialized. Come on.
In terms of we now found what's going on, and we're going to go find them. We don't go speak with them. It's 3 episodes. It's a very long ending.
Yeah, well, how many episodes of the season?
10.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a fair.
Well, if you have 3 arcs in the season,
I
then
suppose.
an arc can only be 3 episodes, really.
I accidentally messed up the time, so I'm going to resync myself. I'm very good at this. Been doing this for like, what is it? Been 4 years by this point.
Yeah. Jeez.
Stupid time. And the inexorable passage thereof.
Hmm. Your intake's just one day popping up on my subscription feed. Not
Welcome,
subscription
brother.
feed, the homepage.
I was trying to pull up some music on Grey J, and Grey J is not working right now.
Hmm.
Why are you pulling up music? We're watching Star Trek.
No, before I'm on a trail right now.
Why are you watching
Yeah,
With my
he's on his way
earbuds.
home, as he always is.
I'm like walking on a trail, not driving.
Okay. Ah, yes, of course. Those are certainly a lot of tech words, Mr. Tarka. Well done.
Yep.
You're very smart.
The funny thing in Stargate Atlantis is that David Hewlett is very, very good at the technobabble, so he kept getting more and more and more, but he liked it. The advice that RDA gave to Shepard's actor was, don't be good at technobabble because they'll give you more and more and more of it.
Ah. Did they do a lot of inversing the polarity?
Not that, but lots and lots of words.
Going uphill now. Puffing and
Congrats.
puffing.
Tell us about the trail. Does it have big trees? Are there a lot of ferns?
There are a lot of trees. No ferns right now.
There's no ferns?
It's late in the season for that.
I
We
guess
have
it's just
we have winter here. I don't think they would survive the winter.
yeah, where I live, it's all ferns all the time, everywhere you look.
Yeah, no.
This whole county is like 50% fern. No, Michael, you cannot lead this mission. You are way too involved. Your ex-boyfriend is the guy you're hunting down. This is so inappropriate. Put someone else in command. But it could be... Saru wouldn't be great for this
Saru.
either. He's a little close with Book 2.
Admiral Vance.
Emotionally compromised? That sounds like a
We
reference
could
to
get
Star Trek 2009.
we could get what's
True.
his name from the season 5
Oh,
with the weird ears.
Raynor.
Raynor, yeah. My favorite
Raynor,
character of the whole
that's the main
series.
character in StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. Wow, it's all coming full circle.
They introduced the best character on the last season. Save the best for last, I guess.
But Admiral Vance is already here.
Hello.
He's okay.
Hello. Oh, by the way, can you guys actually hear when YouTube chat does text to voice?
Not at the moment.
Yes,
Did you just
I
hear
can.
someone say
No.
hello? No?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Soma is gaslighting you. It's working.
I don't know if I heard it or not. In that case, if ever said he's heard it.
Yes, I can hear text to voice.
There we go. I can hear it. Yes.
Okay, yes, good. I had no idea if I actually routed that audio to Discord. I don't know which channel it's going through anymore. I completely
What do you
forgot.
use? Do you use virtual cable?
Yeah, voice meter banana.
Voice meter banana?
Yes.
I'm not heard of that.
It's like
Do you
regular
pay for
voice
that?
meter, except it has a couple extra audio channels.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, absolutely not.
Does it have ads?
No.
Okay.
At least I don't remember paying for it. If I paid for it, it was like 5 years ago, so I don't remember. I don't think I did, though.
Slightly reduced the amount of makeup and irritation to her eyes.
Oh, that's nice.
Who?
The
What character?
Barzan
None.
lady.
Oh,
She
I don't
doesn't
know.
have
She
to
might still be
wear
wearing
She just-
contacts.
all the junk anymore. Because it's future tech,
Does
so
she
she
just-
can just breathe normally with future tech.
oh, she's not just constantly hitting a THC vape all the time.
Yeah.
Well, she's got smaller ones on her, but that's getting away less of what she's doing. Just
Oh,
sets it on.
okay. Yeah. Puppy. Cute.
It's a good thing so we have the dots to clean the ship because this room would mold constantly.
Yeah.
There's a puppy on the trail.
What kind of puppy?
Puppy. It's a golden. I think.
Wow.
I mean, yesterday there was 2 beagles, puppies,
Wow.
and they were howling. I didn't see them yet, and I heard the howling, and there's coyotes out here, so I was like, uh-oh. It was the sun had set, and it was getting dark. I was like, I hope it's not a coyote. And then this couple came around the corner with the 2 beagles. Yeah. Yeah, it was 2 beagles. It was
I don't know if I've ever seen a... No, I have seen... Wait, have I seen a beagle? No, I don't think I've seen a beagle in real life.
in real life. You haven't seen a beagle?
No, I've seen tons of dogs, but I've never
Can
actually
you
met a
hear
beagle.
Can you hear the tunnel that I'm in?
No.
Oh, okay.
I need to meet a Porthos. I have met a dog named Porthos. I've never met a
Porthos.
Porthos, though.
Do you want to see the tunnel and the trail?
If you want, I guess.
I will.
I'm
Try and-
watching Star Trek right now. I wonder how this is working from the presence end, because she's not here. She's a hologram. Is she just kneeling on the floor of her office?
Yeah, probably. That's sort of what gets implied.
Or is
All right.
maybe she has
Can
like
you
a
see it?
VR headset? She has like a controller and she can just play certain animations.
Can you see the camera?
Hang on, let me budge things around. Yes. Oh. Okay, I thought you were in like a forest. This is just a road.
I am. This is a tunnel through they got a bike trail here and it's paved. You'll see.
Because when I
Look
think
ahead.
trail, I think like small dirt path winding over a hill.
Here. Look at the inside of the tunnel.
Pretty sure I saw one of the dog rabbit creatures from Star Wars over there.
Yeah, there's probably some. But here you go. See, this is what it opens up to.
Okay, that's what Michigan looks
tunnel.
like.
Yeah.
Very flat.
No, this is the hilly part. You just can't tell because I'm on the hill.
Oh,
Hey,
the
it's been a
most
while.
the most important role for a captain: the inspirational speeches. Oh, that was
Yep.
barely a speech. No, come on, Michael, give us like 4 more minutes of speech.
Hello there.
Come on,
Hello
it's
there.
definitely no. It's no
Captain
first
Picard.
duty speech. That's for sure. First duty. Every Starfleet officer is to the truth.
Okay. So I'm not on a trail right now, but let me get a Google Maps Street View image of a trail that I go to.
So I won't be able to see it. My phone's in my pocket.
Well, I'm gonna.
Uh,
You can look at it later.
his speeches just became memed like inside the show at some point, right? Oh, he's gonna give one of his
Yeah, they
famous
call it out a few
speeches.
times.
What was the one? What was the
Hugh
one with
calls it
the
out.
drumhead speech and measure of a man speech?
Yeah.
Let's do a top 10
Wow,
Picard
11
speeches.
minutes before intro starts.
Oh god,
It's not the longest. It's not the longest cold open that we've seen in this series.
We did look up the longest ones. Wasn't it like 20 minutes?
I remember that there's at least a 16-minute one.
20 minutes is like half an episode, though.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It's at least a third. Probably 40% of an episode.
Okay, so there's a picture of a trail that I go to occasionally.
If I go
Very
to if I
different
go to the
vibe.
if I go to the big park, it has a more rustic trail. It's not paved.
Okay.
That's very hilly. Like spring cleats. It used to actually be like a industry magnet's estate, and they had a mansion
Is
on it.
that how you
And then
pronounce
they
that word? I've never actually heard it pronounced. I've only seen it written. Magnet?
magnate. Yes.
Okay.
So they donated it. They turned it into a park, public park, and they knocked down the mansion, and so they let the nature like retake the whole estate, more or less. And you can walk, you can see like where the foundation was and stuff, and the tennis court, and the driveway. But then it's a lot of like ponds and streams and stuff.
Oh, hang on. We found a book. Now we can kill him. Yes. Can you make the hard choice, Michael? I vote we torpedo him right now. He's here. We found him. Launch.
Yeah, fire all weapons.
I guess now we just call them billionaires, right?
See, not law on here gets it. I don't remember her name. Is it Non? Non. Yeah.
Non, yeah.
Okay, so they have very
Non-bread.
similar names.
It's not Leon.
She's not Lon from Strange New World. She's Nan from Discovery.
Yeah.
Is Leon the one that kind of looks like Draper from Expanse?
I still haven't watched The Expanse. Yes, she
Oh,
definitely
Oh my
it's
is.
good,
gosh.
yeah.
She's the
You
one
looked
who
up- you
says,
just
I
looked
love
it up?
grappas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's my type. What?
It's fine.
She has very nice hair in that episode with the memory wipe planet.
And a very
I don't
beautiful
know.
dress in the fantasy one.
Who's the actress who plays Draper? And who's the actress who plays Leon? And are they related?
No. No, they're not. I don't think so.
I know they're not. I mean, yes, I understand they're not. But
When was the last time we mentioned an isolatic weapon? Was it TNG? I feel like it was one of the TNG movies.
don't you think?
Isolated weapon.
Don't you think? Don't you think Nicolas Cage looks like Francis Ford Coppola?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Nicolas Cage is?
No, I don't know who Francis Ford Coppola is. Okay, it was Star Trek Insurrection.
He's a
Oh, right.
he's a
It was
director.
the isolated weapon was the one that they had to seal by detonating their warp core inside it because it made like a rift in subspace.
Yes, that's the one.
So the joke is that Nicolas Cage is Francis Ford Coppola's son, and he changed his stage name so it didn't look like nepotism, but he is a nepo baby.
Okay. Oh, look how within torpedo range we are. Okay, if they brought a torpedo on the shuttle, they could have beamed it from the shuttle into the ship and just
Or they
left.
could have literally just dropped it off.
Be super
Like,
easy.
just put a torpedo on the side of the ship.
Disco 2.
I love that.
You can't just make modifications to someone's car without
Yeah.
asking them, Tarka. Absolutely no sense of personal space or personal property rights.
Well, he
You
knows
sent the
better.
shuttle, so presumably you wouldn't have been anyway.
Yes, kill them. See, we should have switched this episode and the next one in release order because it's right now. Book is not on board with Tarka. We need to do the loyalty mission and then get into the danger. You got to do the quest in the right order. Wait, they didn't try that already? They didn't try just pulling away?
They, yeah, sort of.
All right. They've tried nothing and they're all out of ideas.
Have you tried reversing the polarity?
Ah, they should have. Also on this street view, I can't find a good point where you can see the, I was going to say river. It's not really, you can't see the stream on the Google Street View. They didn't put the camera in the right place. Now can we shoot them? See, this wouldn't have happened if it didn't have engines anymore.
True.
Wouldn't have happened if you blown it up. If that shuttle had been a torpedo.
Would have been so efficient. Are you sure you want to jump into a black hole? We 100%
What could
on that?
possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it's a interesting idea. I know that there's ability to move around in it, just they don't.
I can't. They're
Regions of
doing the
inside.
suicide mission before the loyalty mission. Absolutely ridiculous.
That's how you get everyone killed.
It's like they never even played Mass Effect.
Don't you put the shields up before you jump in?
It's fascinating that dark matter can possibly interfere with anything, because the whole point of dark matter is that you can't detect it. So I don't know how their sensors are working. Very well, presumably, most of the time. But they clearly aren't working based on, like, light.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
dark matter affects subspace.
Hi, how you doing? All right.
Pretty good, how are you? Oh, now we're gonna shoot them. Yeah, Michael, this is the whole reason we didn't
Yeah.
want you on the ship, because we need someone who's willing to kill them.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised the Starfleet didn't just take Discovery and tell the crew to go through the academy again.
Well, see, they tried, but then they gave a speech and said, no, we're very... What did she even
Oh,
say? It was
I
just
feel
about like how
raindrops.
it was just about like how
There
they
it
work
is.
really good together and they know the ship the best, therefore they should stay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like a mile and a half away from my car, and it's raining.
Nice. Rain's awesome, dude. Man, you're on a literal road. It's not like it's gonna get muddy. You're gonna be fine.
No, I'm just gonna be soaked by the time I get there.
What they should have done here is they should have played the Mark Twain game to establish a compromise. Always
Mark
works.
Twain game.
Yeah, from Lower Decks.
Oh, okay.
When you can't agree on something, you don't discuss your division and find common ground. You dress up both of you as Mark Twain, and you just talk to each other like that. You have to speak all old-timey.
Yes.
Ask Mark how he resolves conflict.
Hey Mark, how would you resolve a disagreement with a coworker where they're suggesting you kill two people to save 1 billion and you don't want it because one of them's your ex-boyfriend?
Well, my dear, you've got
Don't
yourself
call
in
me
a
that.
pickle akin to the godforsaken Tribbles episode. In the spirit of Star Trek's prime directive, I suggest ye tread with caution and be guided by your conscience. Always remember, it's easier to stay out than get out.
Wow.
That doesn't
Excellent
answer the question.
non-answer there, Mark. He should run for
Mark,
office.
Mark, let me rephrase. You are in that situation right now. You have to make a decision right now. Do you blow up the other ship and kill your ex-boyfriend to save billions, allegedly?
Oh, a predicament graver than a space-dwelling doomsday machine, I see. But Pard, even in times as dire as these, I'd hold steadfast to the Vulcan creed. Infinite diversity and infinite
That
combinations.
doesn't have anything to do with the
The
situation,
path
Mark.
to salvation often dances hand in hand with unity,
Yeah.
not destruction.
It doesn't answer the question. So maybe we should give him more data than just the animated series.
I did tell him he's seen all Star Trek. I just also told him he loves the animated series in particular.
Uh, how about make him love Deep Space Nine? That seems like the series you would want to base this decision on. because
boy,
Just
here we go.
actually
tell him
made
he's
this
got the
call.
ethics of Garrick.
Cisco made this call. No,
Mark,
Cisco's
what
ethics.
would Captain Cisco choose in this situation?
No, what would Janeway do?
Or alternatively, what would Captain Janeway do?
Well, Cisco would have Garrick do it, and Janeway would pull the trigger himself.
Yeah, Cisco would make Garrick pull the trigger, and Janeway
Is it-
would grab the gun quicker than
Captain
anyone else.
Cisco, a man as sturdy as a levee against a Mississippi flood, would bend neither to whim nor emotion, placing duty's call above all.
So yeah,
Yet
murder.
Janeway, with her heart as vast as the Pacific, would surely seek a third path. For in Star Trek, no Kobayashi Maru is ever truly unwinnable.
That was the most
I
Star
don't know
Trek
about
answer
that,
we've got
Mark.
so far.
I asked Mark to take into account all the murder Janeway did.
Hey, look, we
Yeah.
do need to...
With
All right.
specific reference to Tuvix. I'm gonna post a picture of the trail that I walked on back home.
Yes, everybody share your trails.
And there you go.
Ah, very, very different vibe.
Yes.
Is it Sherwood Forest?
You love that.
Is it full of merry men?
It's full of merry things.
Merry men and brigands?
horses.
Oh no.
Merry
Iron Man.
striped donkeys.
The ghost of Queen Elizabeth?
Because this dude's from South Africa, so it's a very different aesthetic.
Oh wait, E.T.'s from South Africa?
I am.
Or he lives in South Africa?
I am from South Africa. I lived there for a long time, and I am now in the UK, but I go back very often.
Okay. Because you sound like you've acclimated to a UK dialect.
I do sound like that, yes. So it's a long story, but I've always had the English accent, even when I was living in South Africa, and I don't know why I never picked up a South African accent. I am half English, and one of my parents is English, so I must have picked up the
Yeah.
accent when I was young and then never lost it,
Why don't
despite
you-
the fact that I went to a school in South Africa.
Why don't you sound like the guy from District 9?
I don't know why I don't sound like the guy from District 9, but
What's his
yeah,
name?
no one in England. I can't remember.
Hey, Mark, who's the guy from District 9, the British dude, or the British sounding dude?
South African.
No, there's an African dude. He's saying he says, "Why don't I
He's
sound
South
like
African.
South African?"
Why,
main
that
character
be
of District
Charlton
9.
Copley, stirring up more commotion than a catfish in a bayou.
Charlton Copley.
Residing from South Africa, his tongue might have a touch of the Queen's English, but he's as British as a cactus.
Okay.
What about Diane
Let's
Wood?
ask who?
Diane Wood.
That is not how you say that.
Whatever. You know who I'm talking about? That weird band couple.
Yeah,
British
but
cactus.
What?
I really
So-
like this CGI rift. That's a very nice looking rift.
So the band directly translates to "the answer" in English,
Okay.
and it's the Antwoord.
I
But-
think that they're crazy. So
Yes.
Also,
are.
Soma, you haven't shared a picture of a local trail yet. I'm going to need a trail. I need to
I
see what
really-
the environment in... Well, I guess it's just going to be streets because it's London.
No, it's just north of London. London has lots of wooded areas anyway.
Target their shields. Their whole ship is their shields. What do you mean?
Hmm.
That's how shields work.
Target their shield generators. Now that's a different thing.
Now can we kill them, Michael? Yes, thank you, Michael. It's a little late, but better late than never. Just a little murder book. David's voice sounds a little off here, like they used a different microphone for him. Was there something wrong with his?
Hmm.
Maybe he was sick or something.
No, it sounds like an audio processing issue, like he got a little crackly.
Oh, the rocks have escaped.
Those are insulating rocks. They keep the damage out of the bridge. So it's like a blade of armor. The rocks take the damage so the squishy people inside can survive. Yes.
Why are you
Kill
here,
them.
Captain?
Do it.
Wait, so he's also a captain at this point. He should have just
Yes.
captained the mission.
Let's explain that Suri is also two.
I like how
Sovereign,
everyone's just
non-
looking at her instead of fixing the ship.
Well, Book stopped
It's
firing for
okay at the
this
moment,
for this
yeah.
shot, so it's fine. All right, I appreciate the contingency. Oh, you can't say it to obey Non and then tell Non
Yeah.
to leave the bridge.
Follow the order if she gives it. I'm now going to remove her from the room.
Absolutely worthless. Is this a reference to the Klingon War? Or? No, it was literally binary at the Klingon War. Remember, it was the binary stars.
Battle of the binary stars.
um. Yeah. Basically.
That's what she did with the Klingons. Fly down in person and knock on the window. It worked great. Oh, but by doing this strategy, she's gonna make Non be reluctant to fire because now
She's
Burnham
there
can be
instead of
blown.
them.
So she's emotionally manipulating her.
Yes.
Rude. Is she gonna like give him hand signals or just look at him dramatically? Oh no, he actually answered the phone. Okay.
Very funny if she just said fire as soon as the shuttle left the shuttle bay before she was able to get us the ship.
It would have that would have been amazing.
Like she gets into the shuttle, and the second that she leaves the ship, just nope, it's gone. Fire a weapon.
Is it impressive maneuvering? The shuttle? It just flew straight
No,
through.
that's
No. He was talking about the fighting earlier,
Okay.
which isn't. I mean, her. It's the person at the helm. But anyway,
And then we murder? No, not in jail. Just a room
Yeah.
from which there is no exit that you've been placed as a form of punishment. The CGI in this shot looks weird. I appreciate that it's here, but it doesn't look quite right. I feel like Burnham looks too big in it, in the
Yeah.
window. Starfleet's they're all about compromise. We love compromise.
Yep.
He wants to blow it up either way.
Yep.
Doesn't care. What's that?
Oh, will we?
Oh, someone's booty. A little toddler's knit sock is on the Whoops.
Book and Tarka are standing down.
Yeah.
Did you notice that on the little displays that the bridge officers have, we can read it correctly from our side. It doesn't look reversed. So it's a two-side display.
Right.
Book, if you want to compromise, you should probably
Yeah.
pull out a phaser. That's clearly a villain monologue.
Going to shoot.
All right, we did. All I needed to do was press the button. We did it. Half a parsec.
That's fairly large.
It's about 1.5 light years, give or take.
Yeah.
See, we should have just killed them.
Oh.
One torpedo, we could have saved so much space. Yep, you saved the
Yeah, about that.
galaxy. The rest of the episodes are just gonna be people celebrating, having a great time, being not dead. Have some meetings about this.
The rest of the episodes are us trying to figure out what letter of the Enterprise we're at so we can figure out which one to put on the hull.
Wireless power transmission. Very futuristic.
Through a wormhole.
Wow.
So he didn't get his power supply.
Nope.
He's sad.
So he did it for nothing. Nothing.
You should probably answer and like disavow Tarka's actions.
Yeah.
I'm in the home stretch, boys. They got a disc golf course here. You guys familiar with disc golf?
Yes.
Did you hear about the professional disc golfer who was disqualified for testing negative for marijuana?
That seems unlikely.
Oh, I saw
I
a
think you're
German
lying
Shepherd
to
puppy.
me.
Now there's another German Shepherd adult. Really, really nice example. My cousin has German Shepherd, has always had German Shepherds, but that's my favorite.
They can't tell people they're from the past? I feel like by now everyone would sort of be used to that. Time travel is pretty common.
Don't they see the hall registry and they're like, that's a low number?
There's not even a bloody A, B, C, or D, or E, or F, or G, or H, I, J, K.
HJK.
Which did we figure out what letter of the Enterprise we're at? That's fine. I know we figured out what letter of Voyager we're at. But...
We're at the Voyager J, but they never said for the Enterprise. The Enterprise they just called the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Well, we know that Enterprise J exists in the 31st century because of
It's
Enterprise.
the pizza cutter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But it's huge.
Oh yeah, that was 31st, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So probably on the
Hang on.
K.
I
Enterprise
just
K.
looked it up.
Well, it
That
doesn't
is a
make sense
26th
because-
century ship.
Well, I think
Jeez,
that's
that's really
retcons.
old by that point. Oh yeah,
Because-
because they jumped that time. Yes, yes.
It's because
So, way down
they what you call it? They destroyed 3 Enterprises in like
Best
one
Star
episode
Trek series ever.
of Picard. They're like, oh, the E was destroyed off screen. Oh, the F gets destroyed. Now we're on the G. So now they had to be like, well, it can't possibly be like 600 years between the G and the J, right?
That was already
H,
set
I,
in
J.
stone for when
It's only
it
3
was in
ships
the
away.
in
They
Enterprise,
really-
as they say.
So-
The eye must have lasted like a really long time.
Do they
Yeah,
do
I
like
guess
the Excel method where when you run out of letters, you go the Enterprise AA, the Enterprise AB?
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello.
All right, Earview. We need you to share a picture of a local trail. Or I guess
Okay.
just a trail that you've been on. That's quite nice.
Okay, could it be a converted railway turned into a walking path in this urban
Yeah.
area?
Sure.
Okay.
Any trail.
We copied it from London, but it's called the High Line in New York City. It's about 10 miles of above ground track that was filled with pebbles and soil. And now everybody goes there to have a good 7-mile walk. But like I said, we copied it from London, which is like all major cities. They really like.
Oh no, the show just made a mistake here. He's needed on the bridge immediately. You just tap the badge and you're there. You don't walk in the future. Walking's dumb.
Okay, so that's my urban
It's
landscape.
like the scene in Back to the Future 3, and they're like, why would people walk or run?
Well, that's hovercraft too, right? Like the first time I saw those hoverboards, which are highly dangerous because like lithium ion can explode so you can't carry them on public transportation here, hoverboards. But I thought it was very Back to the Future. It was like, you don't have to walk anymore. You can just literally surf through the sidewalks.
All right, that
Well, they
episode's
don't work
done.
like the
Next
ones
up
in
is the
Back to the
Galactic
Future.
Barrier. Everyone queue up.
Run for fun?
Gross.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I run for the bus. So I'm pretty decent at like going up a hill.
We need to go all in on Wally hover chairs.
We have those.
What, just like
It's-
electric wheelchairs?
Well, yeah, scooters basically, like mobility scooters.
There you go. Everyone's put a trail in now.
All right. Sick.
All right, I hit my heart target and my step target.
Well, hit your press play target in 3, 2, 1, play. Empler.
Robo
Yeah.
Robo
That's
hates
a
Discovery.
it's a really lovely part there.
What's that?
You were talking. Sorry. I was saying you dislike Discovery, so that you don't like clicking the play button for this show.
Saru's got a crush.
But Soma, you said it's a nice park that I posted.
Yeah. The one that I posted is a nice part. It's quite a large place where you can walk around, lots of other things. But yeah, yours is.
I like how everyone
It's in the middle
else's
of the city as well.
parks are like nice and green, and then mine is it's like this desert.
Savannah. Yours is a savannah, which
There's
is
some
our
green
English-
in there.
It's a little bit of green, but it's
It's dust colored.
It was technically autumn,
Okay.
but actually no. When was that taken?
Sorry, which country?
No, that was in spring. So, like,
And that's South Africa, your review.
Okay, thank you. I would have guessed Kenya, but it looks very East African to me. But
well, it is the east coast of South Africa. So,
oh, okay, there you go. There you go.
The only thing I know about Kenya, it's where every scene in Halo, the games, not the show, that's on Earth is in Kenya.
I'll give you some other examples because there's actually a very varied, like, climate around that area of the country. Some places
Yeah.
are very hot.
Typhoons are in the Indian Ocean, so they would get Indian Ocean typhoons.
Confirmation bias and Federation standard into cleanup.
Savage. I love characters who are politely savage. This is why Captain Picard is excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody loves, you may test that assumption at your convenience.
Yep.
Yes.
No. Oh, but by the way, my favorite Picard savage line is, "What the Klingon says? What do I get for helping you?" Picard goes, "You will have my gratitude."
Yep.
Yeah.
That is what you want me to tell him?
And
Yes, and please
Yes.
add that.
There are others in the Klingon Empire who would help us, and then they would have my
our
gratitude.
Ah,
Our gratitude.
thank you, Robo.
Well, you're telling me you didn't remember the line?
No, I didn't remember that. I just remember being wowed by his gratitude thing.
Spock is also excellent at this.
Yep.
Yes.
I like when he tells someone they're wrong. The one time he says, "You proceed from
I
a
like-
false assumption."
I like when he was talking to Sela, and she was like, "You're going to get up there, and you're going to tell them that we're coming with a peace envoy." And he's like, "No, I will not." And she's like, "If you don't, I'll kill you. It's logical to assume you will kill us in either scenario, so I refuse to
I
cooperate."
choose not to cooperate. Yeah. Such a good one.
I really feel for Sela there, where she immediately goes off like, "God, I hate Vulcans. I hate your logic."
Yep.
Now you're on the antique communicator.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
There you go.
I mean, I think that's just a factual statement, Madam President. They literally cannot escalate it further. I don't know what else they could do that's worse than what they already did.
Yeah.
The last episode was the one with the BFF story.
No, that's this one.
Okay.
Last one was just trying to talk down Book and Tarka from blowing up the DMA, and then they blew it up anyway. Or Tarka did.
Right.
That was
We
the
messed
whole
up.
thing.
We messed up. To be fair, they were right where they were coming from. I think both parties are 100% right. So it's hard to judge either of them. I really like how it's written, actually. Like, you know, in the motion picture, whatever it is, you have to deal with the information you have at the time. You can't play Monday morning quarterback.
My favorite game.
It's your favorite thing to do, Robo? Play Monday morning quarterback?
Yeah.
This was my attempt at the Windows XP background.
Because I would have had the same advice if I was asked in the moment. But, you know, people never ask me in the moment. They only ask me after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So why do you have a picture of Windows XP?
I was just we were going along the road, but we were stopped in some traffic. I looked out the window and was like, "Oh, that looks quite
It
close."
was based on a natural hill somewhere. I don't remember where.
It's in
Yeah, it is.
Italy, I think,
It's
or
somewhere
in
in.
Europe. It's definitely a vineyard.
Well, that's sugarcane, so I think at least I think it's sugarcane.
You know,
Generally, the test isn't deploying a weapon, though. Gee, that's not. All right.
I mean, do you know something? I want to say I like this about this character. When he was doing the experiment that Saru had to like stop them from doing because it was gonna like blow up the ship basically if you keep keep trying to make fusion, you know, in our current day and age, you know, and you have whatever power plant hooked up can't handle it. He said I didn't need to do that. I already knew what it was gonna show.
Because he's very smart.
Very, very smart.
And there's a picture that's a bit more green.
Thanks.
But that's not far away from the first picture I sent. So it's weird that it can be that different.
Are you from South Africa?
Yeah.
Okay. Cape Town or the east?
East Coast, so north of Durban, that kind of.
Okay. The capital.
No, we've got 3 of those. Not.
Yeah, this is where we leave the completely
Durban's the largest
field of
city.
science behind, but we've done that since TOS.
I don't think Durban is the largest city.
Wait, what are we leaving behind?
Real world physics.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's... we don't do that here. See, I would really like to have a nice overview picture of the landscape like that. But I can't because everything is so heavily forested, you can't see the wider landscape.
Yeah, true. It's obscured. In the Central American jungle, it even hides lost cities. That's how obscure it is. I like that this character...
I guess that's a downside of living with redwoods that you can't see past them. They're too tall.
I like that this guy gets good attention in this arc. Lieutenant Rashad, what's his name?
Bryce, I believe.
Bryce, yeah.
Right. Another. I really like the minor characters on the Discovery crew, and I like the way we showcase them too, because obviously it's centered around Saru, Giorgio, and Burnham. They're gonna get married, right? In this season?
Next season.
Okay, thanks.
Right now they're just dating.
So I'm going with you.
Sorry, who are you going with?
She's about to say to Siri, "Hey Siri, it doesn't matter. I'm coming with you."
Gotcha. What were you saying?
I have good news. I just remembered a place that I don't go to very often, but it exists somewhat nearby where you can actually see the landscape. Now I do have to still sort of move around Google Maps to find a good vantage point, but I'll have one eventually.
To be honest, I want to go to that water reclamation plant that was used in TNG, like where the Edo live. To me, that would just be, I just imagine the perfect paradise, except with the draconian legal code. So, I'm sorry, what was the point of everyone posting a trail? Are we just sharing?
Robo was on a trail when he joined
Yeah.
the stream, and he shared a video of it.
Oh, cool. Nice. And the opening shot of the episode apparently has a whole forested trail, so I thought that it was connected to that. Oh, that's when Burnham jumps off onto his ship. That's nice.
That's pretty cool.
It's a yodeling town. I was gonna say before, I really like the future, the Kelpian Baul logo that Saru wears now that he's no longer Starfleet. It has the spikes, the porcupine spikes that Saru has behind his head, the Kelpians have. And then it has the eel-like aspect of the Baul also superimposed. So it's like a unity of the predator people and the prey people. She's a beautiful alien. Because mixing the Cardassian and Bajoran is like a natural, inevitable kind of thing.
Kira would be so mad.
Zial was pretty cute.
No, but what I'm saying is though
Which one?
we established
Which Zial though? Zial
That's
1, 2,
the underage
3.
one. Okay.
Yeah, one of them was like 13.
Yeah, we're not talking about that one.
Wasn't the one that was going in the hot thing with Garrick like 20?
Yeah, she was more adult. The first one from the prison camp, that was a child.
But I was gonna say
I
that we
remember the one that was flirting with Garrick.
Yeah, I remember the bath scene now. That was a little too much because I'm not used to lizard people taking a bath.
As you can clearly see, Garrick is
hot
totally
rock.
not gay. I don't know why you would think that.
But we established in DS9 that Bajorans and Cardassians are genetically have the same common ancestor. Well,
most of the humanoid species in the galaxy have the same ancestor because they're all seeded by the progenitors.
Sure, true, but I mean, you and a lobster have the same common ancestor at 1.2. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something a little more recent.
No, that's as recent as it gets for them.
Okay. I love the transparent displays of the bridge.
Some of us are closer to lobsters than others. I'll just put it that way.
What percentage lobster are you?
I think it's probably more accurate to say what percentage of person is a lobster.
So our last common ancestor was 75 million years ago.
So a banana
Like you
shares
and me,
70% of its DNA with us, but we don't share 70% of our DNA with a banana.
Well, we're
'cause
both
we have more
eukaryotes,
DNA.
though. So we have the cellular structure in common. That's a big deal.
Not really.
It's a big deal.
We're both eukaryotes, or however you say it, but they're plants and we're animals, so it's our cellular structure is fundamentally different.
That was a very dramatic shot discovery. Very fancy with your lighting.
Amazing. Does he not want them to go again, Admiral Vance?
No, he's into it.
He's sending them. Okay.
Kinda. He's not really on board with the president lady going because she's the president.
Yeah.
But whatever.
She's supervising. But you have to admire her for going because like a general leading his army at the front or her army, it's kind of important.
Yeah, we stopped doing that at the time we invented guns.
Yeah.
Leaders lead from the front, man. That's how that works.
Well, back in the days when you had like horses and chariots, you kind of had to be at the front.
We did it for a while, Ryan, when we had guns. We did it for a while. And then they realized that, if they shoot like the commander, and everything goes to crap. So
They have to see the quickly changing movements of the
Yeah,
battlefield. They need
Let
to.
me rephrase. We changed that when we developed reliable long range
Right.
rapid communications.
Right.
I thought you were gonna say reliable long range rifles.
That too.
Ooh, that's a nice dune. I like that dune.
It is a dune. That was in
I like Frank Herbert's Dune.
Namibia.
I still need to watch
That's a nice
Dune. I
Dune.
have it on my computer. I haven't watched Dune.
I need to watch the
Which one?
second part.
Which one? The crazy 1980s one or the new one?
I
The
need
one
to
with
watch
Patrick
the old
Stewart?
one as well, actually.
Maybe, I don't know.
Patrick
I haven't
Stewart's in
seen
it.
it. How do I know who's in it?
The old one has Patrick Stewart in the old film.
He's in there
Yeah,
for like
Patrick
5
Stewart
minutes.
doesn't follow the
plays,
book at all.
what's the name of his character?
Gurney.
Gurney. Just remember, Ryan, the slow blade penetrates.
So I really like this president lady because she doesn't question Burnham's command. She's actually literally just supervising, which is I think really important. Because
Yep,
every other time in Star Trek, no, not this president lady, the Bajoran Cardassian president lady. Every other time in Star Trek, when they're there to supervise, they're really there to micromanage, and she's not
Yeah.
micromanaging. She ain't half bad.
She was totally micromanaging in her introductory episode.
Yeah.
And then she's gaslighting us into thinking, it's like, no, I'm just asking questions.
I love this exterior view of Discovery because we have a lot of important conversations at these windows. TNG doesn't do it as much. Probably 'cause
What awkward than speaking to your girlfriend as the leader or the liaison with the delegates.
he's it's like the first officer can fall in love, but the captain can't fall in love. Captain's first duty is to his
Well, the
original.
captain can fall in love with other
duty is to
people
the
by
The captain fell in love with a terrorist.
these nature stuff.
Hey, look,
Only
they're on
recent,
trail.
recent terrorists. Look, yeah, more trails.
Trails.
It's a very weird colored trail. I don't know why everything's so gray, but
Very great.
I
like
do
sepia.
like this episode a fair bit. It's
I disappear, unfortunately. But have a good one, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
So I think last week also we were talking about how Michael Burnham and Book, their common smuggler history, like they were on the run by themselves for like 2 years before Discovery showed up. That helps them know each other intimately. But the funny thing is, though, I had to rewatch episode like 1 of the season, and when they meet the butterfly people, that also relies heavily upon their like time spent with as pirates. So we've had this consistent thing where those two are now pieces in a pod. Oh, okay. This is the person you need to like create a new alternate universe for just because you want to be with them. That's nice.
he actually does look younger here. I don't know what
They
they
do an
did
amazing job.
exactly.
They do an
they dyed
amazing
his
job.
hair, at least.
Yeah.
It must have been a little After Effects too, though. Remember we saw like they blurred Tilly's face, Blue's face,
Oh
the
yeah,
actor,
that was,
Blue Deldar.
it was so distracting.
Yeah, it was kind of messed up. I mean,
I understand the blur, but pixelating it makes it seem obscene. I blame The
Yeah.
Sims for this association, but it's hard to shake.
Hang on, I can.
I think what
pixelate
they
it
have done
more.
in this case is more just dye his hair and put smoothing cream on his cheeks and
yeah,
things.
they put foundation or something on. That was it. Just HD makeup. You're right. It's not so CGI.
Because you can still very much see his forehead creases.
Yeah, and by the way, I can see bumps on his cheek too from like scarring or acne or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's not the blurring that they used on blue before.
So these
Oros?
two pictures in Discord are the same location, I think from roughly, yeah, about the same angle, because you can see the triangle bit on the far right of the same beach.
Nice.
Just one's at twilight and one's at
One was during the
Aurora Borealis.
Aurora, one was during the steamed hams last year.
The scene hams?
Steamed hams.
Oh, okay.
So it's also here we learn that he's not running to someone, he's running to a place where he can be free, basically.
Maybe you should have stayed in prison, Tarka. Yeah, for a guy who escaped being in jail, he's sure eager to get back to one.
He hit something in the floor, right? Which is like the oldest trope in the whole fiction universe. Like Andor, he hides something in the shower, like a communicator, in the hotel room when he's arrested, and like 3 years later when he escapes, he goes back to that hotel room. It's still there in the shower. This is math nerd humor. You're counting what digits of pi over here or tau?
Look, no math nerd actually does this. This
Yeah.
is just a TV trope.
Ryan, are you judging two people loving each other over digits of pi?
Yes, because nobody does that.
Can we not pi shame people?
Human beings do not do this. I mean, to be fair, neither of them are human, but actual human beings don't do this. I say this as someone who literally, before his college lecture started, derived like the area of a circle through calculus because I felt like it. Like nobody does this.
That's really interesting, because that is actually what calculus would be for.
Yeah,
It's that whole.
We learned how to do similar things like that in the class, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure."
It's actually
let me
it's actually meant for
time.
complex curves, but you using it for like simple curves is like so uniquely you. But yeah.
And I can tell you, I absolutely do not list the digits of the third digit of pi for fun for bonding. No.
Wait. But hold on. So but actually though, if somebody else told you randomly, on a date that I calculated the area of a circle using calculus, wouldn't you just like heart skip just a little bit?
But I specifically just listing digits is a common thing that pops up, and I don't believe that happens.
You don't think counting primes is something people actually do? Math nerds do? Like, there's a girl in Foundation, when she swims to relax herself, she just counts primes.
No. You do not get to use a TV show as evidence that this happens in real life.
True. And plus, you're an actual math nerd, I assume. I can't do anything past pre-calculus. I never took anything past pre-calculus.
I mean, it's all you
I was pretty good at algebra. I was good at algebra, and I was good at I sucked at pre-cal, but I managed to get okay. No, but I would like to understand calculus one day. So what you told me is kind of interesting, like kind of beautiful that you just figured out the area of a circle. But
you
personally,
just integrate over the formula from 0 to 1 to get the area under that curve, and then you multiply it by 4 because that you calculated the area of one quadrant, so you multiply by 4 to get the whole area.
I think I was really proud of myself when I figured out like radians, or somebody else explained it to me. Like, why are we counting not in degrees but pi radians? That kind of made me proud. But that's it. That's where the limit of my knowledge ends. But personally though, if somebody knew how to knew like 100 digits of pi, I would feel like you get 5 points added to your application.
How much do I know? I know 3.14159.265. That's 14159
plus 1.
3.14159.26543.
Plus 2 points.
The reason why I know it up to 3.1415926654 is because of the Nitrogen Museum.
Okay.
Because the outside bobbleheads list it to that number of digits.
The monochrome dimension.
Like, sorry, for me, it was really confusing that pi wasn't equal to 22/7. And I was like, to figure out the idea of an irrational number took me like a couple of weeks. Like, because we were just using it for a stand-in. So. But I feel like instead of, doing multiplication, division, algebra, then pre-cal, calculus, we should actually learn geometry first and start with Euclid and like go through the history of math the way we discovered it. That would make it more accessible to like regular kids, not like math nerds like you guys, the 3 of you, 4 of you.
You didn't start with low-level math and you work your way up?
I kind of got lost a little bit. You know what it is? They were all the teachers were teaching to an exam, and they didn't have time for like the kid who was like too busy trying to talk to other kids or flirt or waste time or whatever.
Decommissioned, you say, oh, this foliage is very dry. This place needs some rain.
Yeah.
Grass,
I think
that's very crunchy.
Book ship is really fantastic.
Okay, so yeah, still decommissioned. Good.
Book ship.
Nope, still not a thing, show.
Yep.
What do you mean it always trips you? All right.
I will say this is a good prison scene. I remember there was one in TNG where you had 5 different races and like one person was in on it. It was very frustrating as a viewer to see like I'm being toyed with. I feel like here they told a good story. But for me, it is a bit too much that he wants to like go into an alternate universe using the DMA technology and pull this guy back. A little bit too much. But it reminds me of I read a New York Times story. They're working on like cryogenically freezing your brain, and if you have a terminal disease, so this girl had cancer.
Yeah, that's.
She's only 20.
Not gonna work.
She had cancer, so apparently you drink antifreeze. They say like maybe in 1,000 years will like desiccate your brain
Hang
and
on.
bring back.
The Ryan's Edits YouTube channel officially does not endorse drinking antifreeze.
Well, I'm sorry, not real antifreeze, but it's something that's because look, any kind of
Surely
freezing
you would
will
want
destroy
pro freeze.
this right. This water like if your brain freezes with like ice, then like that's going to destroy the delicate structure of your neurons and everything. So we don't want just like a frozen brain. We want a frozen intact brain. So they have this thing that can kind of help with that aspect. So the idea is some form of your
Doesn't it
consciousness comes
destroy
back.
the cells in brain?
Yeah.
Right. It's just we've
So you
realized
take-
that most of the methods actually do cause irreparable damage to the brain,
Obviously.
and almost every single one just dies anyway because they can't find
No,
it.
you're paying for the freezer. You'll be frozen for like 100 years, so you pay like 50.
Yeah, and most of them are already bust only 5-10 years later.
Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying is though, sorry, I don't mean to go off too much on this interesting future thing. That's
It's
not
an
working.
interesting idea, but it's just never going to work.
But this girl's father said, "Hey, you're supposed to die. Like, like maybe 10 years from now or 50 years from now, but you're kind of it's part of your life cycle. You can't think that you're dodging a bullet here just because you think you're too young to die." I thought that was wise. So this guy too, like people die.
Companies
people move
go
on.
bust electric is cut to be blunt.
Wikipedia says many cryonics companies have failed. As of 2018, all but one of the pre-1973 batches have gone out of business and their stored corpses have been defrosted and disposed of.
Yep.
Wait, pre-1973. I'm talking about maybe like a later startup with some venture
The
capital.
thing is that it tells us that that's likely to happen to all of them because you don't have enough money.
Good idea.
Are you really going to trust a corporation?
Just keep the fridge on for 100 years. Tell your like great great grandchildren, keep that fridge on.
Also, wasn't there a thing where like a more recent cryonics company, like all the people have like melted or basically just disintegrated?
We're definitely not there yet. And I think like in the 70s, the idea
Hashtag hope.
Right. The idea was like if you get interstellar travel is possible if you slow down the metabolic process, you wouldn't necessarily be like turning it off. That's what cryogenically freezing means.
All we have to do is put really sick people in a spaceship and fly really, really, really fast. They'll age a few minutes and we'll be 1,000 years in the future and we can cure them.
But this scientist is a good villain because like he is so devious. No one else wants to break alternate realities the way he does.
Apparently in Russia, they cryogenically froze a chinchilla. Someone's pet.
Okay. That's not. I feel like if you consent to do it to yourself, that's good. But why would you do that to your pet? But okay. And you know someone's not going to pay for that freezer at some point, so you're just going to disintegrate your pet.
Also, canonically, cryonics was a small fad and then everyone got over being scared of death.
Yeah. Cryogenics, I believe, or cryonics, maybe.
Cryonics is how Beverly refers to it.
Oh, okay.
Though that was also the same season where most of the medical science later got retconned.
Right. And also, there was that episode of TNG where they found the cryogenically frozen people. You think it's going to be Khan for a second?
That's that one.
But it's just a guy from Texas. So season 1 TNG is such a mind warp. And like, people don't watch television because they found better things to do with their time.
Oh, Michael has already given it all she's got.
I remember Ryan said TNG's so judgy, season 1.
It is. Is that
oh my god
dust in the corner or is that snow? It's hard to tell when everything's grayscale. Oh, is your boyfriend's corpse here? Is that like his disintegration dust?
Possibly. I don't quite remember.
Oh wow, math nerding out time.
Delta squared equals 4 pi g.
So charming.
Iota.
I don't know what
I don't think these equations mean anything. I think they're just writing random
no.
Greek symbols.
And they didn't even write pi correctly. Pi has like a squiggly line on top. It's not a straight line. What kind of math nerds are these?
Ugh, if they're such math nerds, why aren't they using
nerds.
tau?
Yeah.
All the cool kids use tau.
They're just imposters.
I'm friends with a lot of Christians on Discord, like in Christian servers. So when Jesus tells his disciples to make disciples of all the nations, the word used in Greek is mathematicon. So I say like Jesus is saying make mathletes throughout the nation. But you know, math is a discipline, so mathematicon is like.
How come you haven't followed that teaching then, my guy? Why aren't you a mathlete?
I suck at math, yeah. But it's just really because also, as you know, right, in Britain they would say maths and we only say math. And it's so weird to us.
Which is
but
incorrect
technically, it is
because mathematics is not a plural, so you don't keep the S. It's a singular
It is a plural.
noun.
It is a plural.
It's a mass noun, which has
Okay.
a different grammatical structure.
Okay, but it's also like a very broad field of knowledge with multiple subfields. So I feel like it is
It's
definitely
a plural in the UK.
There's no such thing as a mathematic.
True.
Oh, there's need to be.
True.
Physics is not a plural. It's just physics.
True.
Not everything that
technically
ends with an S is plural.
It's technically you
about
have a physique,
biology and chemistry?
which would be a little physic.
Good for you, and yes, maths is a plural, Ryan.
No, it's not.
Royal Britannia.
Look, the vast majority of differences between British and American English, I could not care less. You can have all the aluminium you want, but
And the O's and
mathematics as a
U's.
plural is
Aluminium is
dumb.
threat time as well.
And what about them being super petty about the U in honor and color and flavor?
He said you could
Again,
have
threat.
it. He said you could have it.
You
But
just
you-
simplified English.
You won't give him an inch on that, huh, Ryan?
No, you can have your U's, but you don't get to use an S in maths.
I feel like it is cumbersome.
Maths is plural.
You can
So
write
you're gonna-
civilization with an S if you want. It's all good.
Defense with an S.
Defense, I feel like both
Oh,
the
defense
S
is
and
a
the
C.
C are used in English for different things.
And what about theater with the R and the E?
I mean, I do ER, but I don't care.
I feel like ours is more
Oh, was
intuitive.
that your
Why would
first
you?
murder?
Oh yeah, he was a dirty rat or something, right? So.
But not anymore.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he fell in love, which is also the oldest trope. That's every Tom Cruise movie. I was in
Every
North
Tom
Korean-
Cruise movie, he's running
Yeah.
at the camera.
Hold still. This guy's incapacitated. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
He's free. Still in a
remember-
locked facility with a bunch of armed guards, but
Yeah.
you're free.
I remember wishing I could make a time machine as a kid because I got detention once because I wanted to undo that. I wasn't the kind of kid.
That's what you want a time machine for, not like stopping 9/11, but prevent yourself
well,
from having detention once as a
it was-
child.
It was 1999, so we didn't have 9/11, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking about making a time machine now to go back to prevent yourself
I was a
from.
14-year-old kid who was trying to go, who thought I was supposed to go to Harvard or something, so I didn't want to get detention. But yeah, it's from a 14-year-old kid.
Harvard would not care if you had detention once.
More like a 12-year-old kid, I think. But anyway, the thing is, though, this guy's really petty. Why do you want to invent a whole like physics-breaking device to get back to undo one mistake in your life? You have to learn from your mistakes. That's what life's about. It's not about getting stuck on one mistake. But I guess that's why he's the bad guy.
He has had more than enough of Ryza in this universe. He's sick of it.
Oh yeah, he's Ryzen. He has the Jamaharon on his head.
Jamaharan?
Do you know how emotionally confusing it is to be propositioned constantly for 20 years?
Uh-oh, math.
The Golden
Fibonacci
ratio
sequence.
doesn't...
Fibonacci sequence.
That's another
Math
thing
nerd.
that bugs me as a TV trope. Saying that like, oh, the golden ratio solves everything. No, it doesn't. Shut up. It's a
But
mathematical
it's got the word
quirk.
golden
It
right in the
doesn't do
name.
anything.
Yeah.
See, that's why I really dislike the Big Bang Theory. It's like they don't actually make Star Trek jokes. They just make jokes that the popular culture would understand as a Star Trek joke, but it's not really funny in a Star Trek context. So I can't stand the show. Like, it's more like you're laughing at us instead of like you're laughing with us. So I know I understand your frustration, Ryan. Like, there's no math here.
These math casuals.
It's just what normal people think math nerds do. Bond over digits of pi.
Normal people bond over Star Trek, not digits.
I like the. Oh, this is the.
This is
Are we in
not
a
what the
flashback?
Galactic Barrier looked like in TOS.
Oh right, that's where
Inside the
DMA
barrier
occurred.
was just purple. It was just a purple haze.
This was a nice touch for us to go back to the last, because DS9 never did it, Voyager never did it, Enterprise never did it.
Everyone here wants to go to the West Coast. Far superior coast.
That's when she said Astoria. There's a part of New York that's called Astoria. And it's a really nice part of Queens, immigrant community, and a gay community. So it's pretty nice. But it's not. It doesn't sound as scenic as Oregon's West Coast.
What kind of timing was that, Owo?
That was time until the shields collapsed.
It could have been much more dramatic. You're supposed to leave it till 1. Slow down the ship a little.
We're talking about generals. I really like this general. She really rode to the front lines. But like you were saying about communications, Ryan, like a general needs to be like on the hill behind the battle and see like constantly shifting conditions and rearrange resources to meet those conditions. And that requires rapid communications.
Modern generals, we should have a drone pointing a camera down at the battlefield, and then the general's just on the computer ordering them around like an RTS.
So really quickly, I want to go over. There was a Millennium War Games conducted as I think it was like a joint task force that was doing a simulated like asymmetrical warfare. Basically, like if the United States was attacked by like irregular forces, and there was a retired general who was commanding the opposing forces.
Right.
And he was using like motorcycle carriers to communicate and flashlight signals and stuff like that. And he actually defeated the combined forces of the American military in like a day. And the generals were really upset.
He sunk 4 warships and they had to end the mission. They had to end the simulation because it's like there's no way he has that much of an edge.
Well, no, there is. It's just they didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And so then they reset the game and they changed the rules because they were sore losers.
Do you think? Well, no, I don't even need to ask this anymore. This is just true. Even people who do real life war games, not RTS, complain about the opposite faction being overpowered.
Right.
Well, actually, so it's not even overpowered though. So the simulation was.
It's 2024. They likely could do a Microsoft Teams meet and work from home.
They totally could.
The team in the other in the simulation was technically a Muslim country like Iran, so they used the minarets of the mosques to send transmission messages throughout the call to prayer towers at every mosque, and that's how they like disseminated information without the other team knowing about it. So it's just carrier pigeons basically, going back to like old techniques.
The US has not had a lot of historical luck with people using, anything other than brute force. We didn't do so great in Vietnam. We didn't do so great in Iraq. It doesn't. We do really well when they line up a bunch of tanks for us.
you can't beat a force that has no, coherency. Like they just melt into the population, and what are you going to do? You can't kill the entire country.
Well, you can, but you
I
probably
mean, you
shouldn't.
can, but it's not a good look.
It's actually super easy.
I love this
Programmable
seating area.
antimatter?
Yeah.
You won't. He doesn't exist after this episode. You see, any criminal act is justified as long as you have a sad enough backstory. This was the one episode they could have used the word intergalactic appropriately, and they refused. I mean, extragalactic is still correct.
It's more correct because they're not going between galaxies, they're going to outer stars.
I just want them to stop using it for in-galaxy stuff.
Absolutely. Intragalactic works.
Intragalactic planetary. And the Beastie Boys.
I didn't know
You
you
don't
like
even have to say intragalactic. You could just say galactic. It's fine.
Yeah.
Why are we putting prefixes on everything? Because it sounds more techy.
All right. Intergalactic.
From Earth. Navarre. Yep. It's always Earth. Everyone hates Earth.
We should just throw the Doomsday device at it, or the whale probe, and just have them fight it out, man. Which is the best Doomsday device? Who wins
Yeah,
in the fight?
Well, the Doomsday device is a few kilometers long as opposed to several light years.
So just see if it would munch on the DMA a little bit and just bother it. It's like a leech, just a leech stuck on the outside of the DMA.
It'd be like if an ant was trying to eat you.
They do.
And they fail. Because they're ants. Their relationship feels way more realistic than the golden ratio people.
Yeah.
It's a little fast, but they are trauma bonding, so. Cthulhu Homeworld. Sick.
I just brought down a P-47 with an F-6F with a reserve plane Soma with a 1.0 reserve plane.
Did he say C. Abrams already? Or
No, she's in the last episode of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks.
It's the very end. There's the politician.
Back when Georgia was blue.
She's not my president.
But also, she's the president of Earth. Also,
Yeah.
So
Stacey Abrams is my president.
So does she win the popular vote and the electoral college, or just the electoral college?
I'm positive that in this utopian future we have gotten rid of the electoral college.
Yeah.
I think we all would agree with that.
I don't agree with that, but
Electoral college is just what the fuck, America.
But the fun fact is though,
we've had it forever.
I know.
the thing is though, you don't even need to get rid of it. You could just have a majority of states just say
It
that.
was also
We're
never intended as the
there is a
America.
pack. Yeah, there is a pack. It's already in place, but they need to get a certain number of states to sign into the pack. But it's I think if they do that, there's going to be a major upheaval. I don't think they'll let that fly.
They de facto undo the electoral college. But sorry, someone, what were you saying? They have to what?
I think what I was saying was that it's not intended to be the governance system of America for its entire life. It was just.
I'm sure it worked very well in
convenience.
1807.
Although let me be really grateful though that this election wasn't 269-269 and then a toss up that
there was before I went to bed, there was a scenario where it could have ended up 269-269. I did that was in one of my simulations, and I was like that.
Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
So the problem hold on, wait. The problem with that is that the Senate would get to choose the winner, but the President's Senate is split, and the tie-breaking vote is the Vice President, and the Vice President is one of the candidates. So it was a really bad situation. But it would be the new Senate would have decided, and the new Senate is going to be Republican anyways. So it still would have probably resulted with
No, it goes
Donald
to the
Trump.
House. If there's a tie,
No, it goes to the Senate. It goes to the Senate.
It doesn't matter. They're both the same representation now.
Yeah. Either way, but
that happened once in like 1805 and then 1859. So
yeah, well, they used to also they didn't have running mates. The runner-up used to be the Vice President. So that was a nightmare.
That was
a kitty.
Yeah. Well,
did you see any cats on the trail?
No cats, just dogs.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep, that's still an oval. Thank you for confirming, Michael. I don't know what she's hoping to learn by looking at it. Oh, those are weird rings. Why are they so misshapen?
This is the epic walking at the camera, slow motion. In their shiny suits.
So this away team consists of the captain, the doctor, the the vice captain. What is he called?
The XO, executive officer.
Right.
First officer, executive officer. The vice captain. The backup.
We're talking
captain.
about presidents and vice presidents and amendments.
The captain, the backup captain, the pilot, and the doctor are going down.
So one of the profiles I came across on Hinge was like, "Oh, I'm an identical twin," and I'm like, "Oh, good. So I have a backup."
No. Bad.
Oh, good. A spare.
Get out of here, Rick. Wait, did they say how these people got here? I missed that. How did
No, they just skip through. They've got the antimatter stuff, and then we just say, "Oh, they went through. That's fine."
No, book. There was an yes, thank you. There was an animal on Quajon. It's an analogy book. Just roll with it.
So I'm playing German vehicles for the first time, Soma, and it's like, what? The gun can go negative? What is this? what what magic? What sorcery is this? Because the Russian tanks have 0 depression.
Hmm.
The Russian tanks, all the depression is in the crew.
You know, these two you'd never think would be in cahoots, but they're good allies. Like, Book's down to the END, you know. I mean, obviously, right? The character is suffering from the loss of Quajon, so he's like trying to make sure nobody else suffers the genocide.
It's just a little genocide, okay?
No, they fractured the whole planet.
Quajon, how many people were on Quajon? Yeah, as a treat.
Nobody important was there.
No.
His weird brother.
Quajon was one of those shithole planets.
Asking the right questions.
You know, your planet's a shithole too sometimes, Robo.
Yeah, Earth is a shithole. We're very rapidly making it into a shithole.
Mm-hmm. So just think
I'm under no delusion that in 100
episode,
years this planet will not be inhabitable. That it
I mean, I remember, 2 weeks ago, Soma, you were saying the sewage, you couldn't even go kayaking because of the sewage. But in Paris, when they had the Olympics, they said they had cleaned the river, and they like said the athletes can swim, and then like 2 days later,
and then everybody got sepsis.
It's not like good. It's actually
Yeah.
was anyway. But
yeah,
you can
There's
do
so
a lot.
much
Though. You
pollutants
can do
in
a
the
lot.
water.
But basically, whoever's up the river is probably dumping right into the river, and that's not good.
So, I appreciate that the show addressed why we're bringing the vice captain on this trip.
The first
but
officer.
I'm still not sure I agree with the logic, but I appreciate that they addressed it. Maybe we could bring like Linus with his big ol' Saurian eyes.
Linus Tech Tips?
No, Linus, the guy who blinks sideways.
You don't want this Linus around tech anywhere.
Nah. I remember, I think my favorite moment of him.
Slimy Linus?
Burnham and Book are about to kiss, and like Linus just teleports in there in their first kiss, and it's like really good tension breaking moment. Well, tension creating moment, because they're still not used to the site-to-site transporters. I like the crew of the Discovery. We got laughs, we got tears, we got a Ferengi in Starfleet.
No, this is a Ferengi.
Do we have a Ferengi?
ambassador.
There's a Ferengi here.
Yeah. I mean, he's part of the
delegation.
Federation delegation.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you know what they did? They assembled all sentient species because we all have a stake. So
all
when
four
America
of them?
landed, yes, there's 8 or something. But when America went to the moon, 1969, Richard Nixon sent moon rocks to basically every country on Earth because he said it wasn't just like an American accomplishment; it was a world accomplishment.
Sure. but it was totally us. I think he was just flexing on them. He's like, "Hey, we brought you a moon rock. We went to the moon, but we brought you this
Brought you a
rock."
souvenir.
Yeah, it's like when one of your family members comes back from a really cool trip and they got you like a mug. It's like, oh, thanks.
Or it's a
Why do I
kilo
want to
to
remember your trip?
Right.
That's right, George. But yeah, that is funny.
You guys are.
Soma, why'd you call me out? I'm trying to steal his jokes for myself.
Yeah, they put the.
Whose joke did he steal, Soma?
I'm not gonna repeat
No, but
it.
it was my own, the original joke.
My joke.
But wow, you guys don't like souvenirs? You guys are like really anti
Capitalism? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's why we're escaping into space.
I remember my brother went to Martinique. He got this little carved wooden lizard, and I was like, "Can I have it?" And he's like, "No, like this is for my trip." I was like, "No, no, no, no! I'm gonna like use it and remember it every day." And I just took it from him. I like stealing other people's mementos.
No, I do buy some souvenirs though. To be fair.
Keychain, something like that. You're supposed to buy a keychain.
Spoons, thimbles, magnets. These are all souvenirs. T-shirts, postcards,
dirt,
bottle openers. My cousin brought me a hand grenade from Texas. It was a bottle of hot sauce shaped like a hand grenade. She hands me this thing and she's like, "We got this for you." I'm like, I'm holding it. I'm like, it feels like a hand grenade. Is this a hand grenade? Did you get me like a deactivated hand grenade? Because you can't take those on airplanes. How'd you get that? You know, and there's a hot sauce bottle shaped like a hand grenade.
Okay. Still feels like a bad idea to bring that on a flight, but
Depends if it shows up on X-ray.
one thing I do not appreciate about this show, they should absolutely have seatbelts in this scene. They've had seatbelts in the show. Use them here.
There's a deleted scene for Star Trek Nemesis where the Enterprise E has seatbelts that like.
Yep, at the end.
Yeah.
With
Picard pushes a button and
Major
they deploy. The new first officer.
The new first officer, who's like straight out of the. He's in the Marine. He's a Marine in Enterprise, right?
Yeah, Major
He
Hayes.
tells Riker tells him Picard likes it if you call him Jean-Luc, and he said Jean-Luc, and Picard looked at him like, "The fuck you just said?"
Yeah. By the way, these
Sort
are
of like
great
the changes to the
suits.
suits.
Yeah, these are as good as any other show out there. Better, actually, better than the Foundation suits. Because they're more form-fitting. Looks like SpaceX's.
Is this a quarry?
It's the same quarry, yeah, probably.
Sepia. I saw this trope where
Custom-fitted hoof boots. Nice.
if a movie or TV show wants to make it look like Mexico, they make it sepia brown tinged. And if they want to make it look like Eastern Europe, it's blue tinged.
If you want to look at the Matrix, it's green tinge.
Yeah.
Is he having a breakdown? Is he having a one of his things like he used to have before he lost his flangeli?
I feel like
Ganglia?
he's sensing
It's
ghosts.
explained soon. Yeah.
No, Saru, explain. Yep, vertigo. That's why you saw the giant space worm eating the facility for sure.
In The Lion King, they have an elephant graveyard. So I don't know. There's a part of me that always thinks of like elephant bones.
Not the crate dragon from Star Wars. on Tatooine?
I think I'm failing to remember that.
When they first land on Tatooine, C-3PO and the blue guy.
All right, all
There's a big
right.
dragon.
Well, they're just by
R2D2?
themselves.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
haven't even met the Jawa and the Sandcrawlers and all that. Yeah, now I remember. Wow, that's an obscure scene. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good prop, and they might have minimized it in the special editions.
They did a good job though, because they put a good sense of scale that you're on this desolate planet when there's
Didn't they
no
also just
life.
leave it in the desert after filming?
Yeah.
They left a lot of the props, yes, and so like when they were building the Sandcrawler, the neighboring country thought that it was a weapon, and they're like, "Hey, you need to get that weapon away from our border." It was just the Sandcrawler.
I mean, it looks like a tank.
But the Star Ocean statue in that film is from a previous film that they just left it in the desert.
They left the Skywalker Skywalker Ranch there in Tunisia, and it became a tourist attraction. But then it became a base for terrorists. So they're like, "Yeah, don't go visit it because you might be killed."
But that's what it's for in the movie too.
Is it?
Well, Luke is a terrorist, and he's from there.
Yeah, I guess so. You have a point.
Is it blood? When they got eaten by the sandworms? Oh, we also don't usually see this. So there's actually like the beam being emitted from Michael's suit. Usually it's just hovering in the air. Now it's actually being projected. I guess it's pretty hard to fit everybody on the ship when everybody's like 3 stories tall. Actually, I think they're bigger than that. How big are these things?
They are Cthulhu sized. Oh yeah, Saru has the first most strongest physiological reaction. He goes back to being scaredy cat.
Because all the pheromones left on the planet are saying, "Get out, get away. This is
Oh,
not
like
safe.
Because
Leave."
it's a scent-based species.
Yep.
Fear.
They're smelly squids.
Yeah, but those scent molecules are so huge they wouldn't fit in your nose. You know. You have to communicate with the display.
All he just said was to not screw it up. I mean,
Yeah.
it felt like a pretty lighthearted moment, really, but okay. Do you remember the start of this season? You were a huge jerk to everybody. You were so much worse.
Obligation.
I guess takes one to know one. What do you want to do about it? Blow it up again? They're just going to send another. We established this. So General, what's her name? General Ndoya?
Yeah, something like that.
Her
Ndoya.
plan is to just go straight to their homeworld and start yelling at them.
Yeah, yeah.
With no language in common.
Mathematics is the universal language.
Shut up. Is she going to start quoting the golden ratio at them?
Hi.
Like, excuse me, Mr. Cthulhu. Did you turn off your doomsday device?
Yes, as
Trying
soon
to
as we can't even
survive
agree on
here.
what the standard base is, and maths is totally a universal language.
These do look very jellyfish-like with the
There was an episode of
fabric hanging.
There was an episode of Stargate SG-1 where they're on. I think it was before they met the Asgard. I think it was the episode preceding meeting the Asgard, and they had to do some mathematical equations, and they got pi incorrect. They were saying it was the ratio of the radius to the circumference, but it's the diameter to the circumference. And also, in another episode, they said the number of electrons determine what an element is, and it's not. It's the number of protons.
Yeah, early SG-1 was a bit loose with its scientific accuracy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that ever really got better.
It
just wasn't critical to the show.
Especially for Universe.
Well, maybe
they came up with a
Universe,
problem.
but that wasn't SG-1.
True.
How come the first 3 seasons of SG-1 were just Commander Man gets injured or sick, and then everyone else has to resolve the situation? Also, why can't I remember anyone's names? My brain is telling me Jack Ransom. That's a Lower Decks character.
Jack O'Neill.
O'Neill.
Teal'c, Daniel Jackson.
O'Neill. It was O'Neill would get sick or injured or cursed or in some way incapacitated. He was the Chief O'Brien of the first 3 or 4 seasons. He had to suffer.
I think you have so much Star Trek on your brain, it's hard for you to remember the Stargate stuff.
I will say this: the turret bounce on this German thing is garbage. Not what I'm used to.
Also, another note, we established in previous series that Star Trek ships always know exactly who is on board at all times, whether they have a comm badge or not. But the ship just never tells anyone.
The ship is fooled by the comm badge, but you're saying it let itself be fooled by the comm badge?
No, it's not even fooled. It's just that the computer doesn't volunteer any information. Unless someone explicitly asks it, are there any intruders on board? It won't tell you.
Right. Or like, when did Captain Picard go off the ship? It's like, he's not on. That's what you asked me.
It was last night at this exact time.
Yeah.
He was beamed away by an energy device consistent with Romulans. It's like, why didn't you tell me that?
Why are you asking me now? You should have asked me before. I would have told you. Or like when someone takes a shuttle and takes over the shuttle bay, it's like, you didn't lock the shuttle bay? Of course I would have let anyone fly out.
Wait, follow-up question. Not follow-up question. Follow-up question to like 10 minutes ago. If Saru is being affected by the pheromones. How is he being affected by the pheromones? He's in a spacesuit.
They do explain it. It is explained.
Thank you, Soma. Oh yeah, they get like a fraction of the pheromone. They don't get the whole thing.
Also, humans look really weird when you light the outside edges of their face and not the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like they're going wall-eyed with this lighting effect.
Yeah. Like, if you made it too bright, the glare would have made it impossible to see who's inside. So they chose to leave the interior of people's faces dark.
It's probably nice for the actors not having LEDs shined directly into their eyeballs constantly.
Yeah. For like the whole day.
Except Detmer. Detmer's eyes are being shown on.
This is the long 16-hour day.
Man, Star Trek really stole a lot from Mass Effect. This is just the Prothean beacon.
It's sort of.
I feel like these
there's leanings of it, but not really.
I feel like obviously in the age of streaming we have longer like story arcs because you don't have commercials and studios breathing that down your neck the same way. So like Planet of the Week is not the thing. So
we know.
And a nice little microwave ding on the replicator.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Or like an egg timer ding. Really? Why? Have you ever even talked to her? Oh, I guess they weren't here on the ship for when Detmer was having her whole crisis of confidence. We had like 5 episodes about that.
But she got over it, so yeah. Yeah, there we are.
Okay, yes, the show remembered. The show's not allowed. The show remembered things that happened in previous episodes. What is this? What kind of Star Trek is this?
A
Serialized Star Trek.
It's illegal. Also, the extra looked at the camera for a second. The one who's working on the panel in the back.
It's literally just a microwave.
Oh, what was the series that just... Oh, it was Picard. That they used just an actual 3D printer with a real label.
Yeah.
For the replicator. Well, clearly there's some sort of time delay, so maybe you'll just be affected in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Did they do that thing like in the alcohol water episode from TOS where they like reach under their helmet to scratch their nose? Does that wait? I don't know if I believe this. Surely this should be a fully sealed suit. Why would
Yeah.
it allow anything through at all?
If it's small enough, but then it wouldn't be an unusual hydrocarbon unless it's some very
You're an
weird
unusual
element.
hydrocarbon.
I mean, technically.
Yeah, that's right.
We're living, breathing hydrocarbons, so yeah.
All right, well, they solved the fear particle issue. Still not sure why it was an issue to begin with, but all right, we did it. What did that display say? It looked like it said mood tricorder. It's scanning people's emotional states?
Commander Reno.
Banana. Hot.
Seems weird. Steamed bananas. With peanut butter? What's peanut butter?
It's very
Steamed
convenient that
bananas.
literally everybody left the engineering section.
Bananas. I would like to share with you some bananas.
Why are these hallways so spooky? Why did they design it with this lighting? Oh my god, Book, just say hello. Don't grab her. What's wrong with you? Now stab him. Therefore, you should stab him. I don't remember what he's even going to propose.
He proposes that she gives him information about what they're doing each of the time.
But like, what is he going to do with that? Can he do anything? Are they
Just so
planning
that
to
he
just
knows
like blow up the entire species 10C when they find it, or?
It's basically so he's aware of what Discovery
Kill
is
them.
planning on doing.
Kill them all.
Find the power
Must
source
kill
of the
them.
Sabian.
Is this the woman who does the voice for the computer?
No, don't think so.
Sounds like the woman who does the voice for the sphere data. Is it not?
I don't believe it is, no. Zora is played by Annabelle Wallace. And this lady, who is General Andoya? This is a name that I don't know how to pronounce.
Oluwande?
No, it's Fumzile?
Hmm.
Fumzile Sacha? I'm going to put it in Discord. I don't know how to say this.
Fumzile Sitoli.
Something like that, yeah.
Said it the way anyone else said it, right?
Don't necessarily have a better way other than Hamzile.
If only
Well, it depends.
ET Studios was still here, because she's from South Africa. So presumably, our South African friend would know how to say this.
True.
Some kind of a cocoon.
So, are the jellyfish floating around the kids? Or are those just eggs?
Maybe they're zygotes.
That's the pheromones. That's
No,
the
no,
pheromone.
the giant jellyfish that are like 15 feet across.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. I mean, look, they did a great job of this production, because it's like we're seeing something so alien, so giant sized. You know, like on our planet, you know, like the largest land animal is an elephant. Like there's a maximum size to our whole cells and blood vessels and everything. You can't have a rabbit the size of a house. The circulation doesn't work. So it's interesting that they take us here in a way.
Presumably these squids are very low density. Because they float around in the gas.
Yeah.
Early on, when Earth's atmosphere was super high concentration of oxygen, like 80% oxygen, we had arthropods that were humongous because the only thing limiting the size of an arthropod is the oxygen concentration. So
Yeah, they
you
have
have giant
exoskeletons.
insects.
No.
If
It's
you,
easier when you have an exoskeleton, but like the blue whale is the largest land animal. Sorry, land animal on Earth. It's also the largest animal in history. So there's never been an animal
well,
bigger.
a blue whale could be a land animal if we drag it out on the shore. You know, just saying.
Not for very long.
Well,
whales, Mrs. Got whales.
Make a wetsuit for it.
Sorry, I was talking about elephants before, but like basically these things have a maximum size to them. That's why the space jellyfish is like a little bit hard to believe. Of far point, but that's far point.
They have a maximum size, you say?
Yeah, the space ravioli.
The space ravioli.
Then the Gomtu.
Well, the
I wonder what the
Gomtu, it's
largest
highly
creature
implied that they're engineered.
And then the Gormaganders. Probably a Gormagander, Ryan.
The largest living thing? No, the Farpoint Station creature. Whatever that is.
The space jelly, yeah.
But the crystalline entity, that's kind of alive.
Oh, in Enterprise, remember the white goo creature?
Yeah.
That strung up everybody in the cargo bay. That spanned the entire planet.
Interesting.
It was just one creature that grew over the entire surface.
Okay, that probably is it then.
So it can't like go anywhere. It can't do anything other than just sit there being a giant spider web.
It's not going to go into space anytime soon.
Unless someone lands on their planet and takes them on board. Great job, guys.
But considering like no one's gonna probably destroy a planet, it's figured out its evolutionary niche and just run with it. It's won the game of evolution because it took over the whole planet.
How big is
Kinda like us.
the sphere?
The sphere?
Yeah,
Oh,
that we
the
got the sphere data
DMA
from, because that was a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. And then we have to extrapolate how big these Cthulhu are.
565 kilometers in diameter. It's a big sphere.
Okay. But still not as big as a planet. How big is
this
Nagila?
species? They're not allowed to work from home, are they? Because you can't, unless they invented smell-o-vision computers.
They had those, so why wouldn't they have them?
That sounds so inconvenient, though. You have to, like, have storage tanks for all the different pheromones.
True. Synthesize complex molecules on the spot.
Also, well, maybe they have some sort of, maybe they're telepathic among themselves. Because, like, you can't convey complex ideas with emotion.
Right.
Like, what's the sequence of pi? Is it anger, love, anger, hate, fear, suffering, joy? Like, what? They've got to have another means of communication, surely. Oh, wait, they do. They have the patterns of lights.
Yes.
But that's only like half their communication, though. So you can't communicate just with the lights. We communicate with lights, too. This is an amazing set. Very aliens. You guys have said it's like Halo. There are things they brought a lot.
Pretty sure they're probably using the volume at this point.
Yeah. But like,
magic
oh, okay, I see
wall.
what you're saying.
This episode
I know
brought
they
to you
use the
by Unreal
volume.
Engine 5.
Yeah. I know they use the volume at the end of the series for when they meet the creatures, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that Vista just now was just very volume-like. Like in Game of
Yeah.
Thrones, they would show the dragon like looking down at you and the wings spanning out. So something crazy that volume does is again, this is a math thing, but like looking at the screen, you and me, the dragon's all distorted, but the fact that
Yes.
like it knows the lens of the camera and everything and the angle that you're going to be filming at, it'll
Yep.
make it look like the dragon's like 100 feet tall and looking down at you, even though the thing's only like what 50 feet tall or something. So
No, it adjusts the perspective when it knows how
Amazing.
to do it. It's real-time rendering. It's pretty cool.
it's amazing. It's I would have never.
Well, it's largely come directly from gaming because
Mhm.
of real-time cutscenes. So we render
They're
it
running
in
Unity.
real time.
That whole volume is run by Unity. So
Well, no, it's
It's run by
it's
Unreal.
Unreal Engine.
sorry, yeah, sorry.
But
That's how much you know. But it
Yeah.
literally is the video game engine that all the hot video games are using.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I only have a 1080.
Still relevant.
Thank you.
1080 is still
It's
relevant.
respect. I can play the games that I like.
Well, I'll put the 1080 Ti is still relevant.
Yeah, I think it's a TI.
That was Nvidia's great mistake, was that they made a card so good they couldn't outdo it
Budget. Yeah, it was budget.
for ages. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like the 2080 wasn't a huge leap beyond it, so it was like 4 or 5 years before the 3090 came out, and there was actually a card that
Was a real upgrade.
was a upgrade from the 1080 Ti.
Mm, that's
So
interesting.
I mean, you can still play most modern titles at a reasonable frame rate.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that your frame rate is higher than the command rate of the game, and then you're good. And that's
No, you only need a frame rate of 24 FPS because that's all the human eye can see.
yeah, no, it's not. That's not how.
That's true.
It may be as much as your eye can see, but it's not.
It's
how
not,
the
it's
game
not all
mechanics
your eye
work.
can see. It's very much not.
But thanks for not being a snob, Robo, because like, you know, I'm not you, but in general, like someone would be like, "Oh, you have less than a 2080." I wouldn't even
It's
have a
not
whiskey with you.
2080.
No, it's still a very strong card.
I mean, at the end of the day, do you have fun with the games that you play? That's all you need.
Yep.
And I was coming from.
I mean,
Blue
I've sat on with a 3070 for the past 4.5 years.
The trick is to be really into strategy games.
Yeah.
Because CPUs
True.
are way cheaper than GPUs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty much. I'm into single player strategy games, so I'm not missing anything. I don't play those mech warrior games.
If you love
guys play.
Stellaris, you can run it on the integrated
Warrior.
graphics. It's fine. You just need.
You need a polarized CPU.
MechWarrior is a 12-year-old game, dude.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, hey, it's Morn.
But
it is
Where's
something
Morn?
the show got wrong, though, that the Morn species is supposed to have hair. It was just
mourns
that
for
Morn
Morn?
didn't because he was poisoned.
Yeah, because he had latinum in his. So yeah, they should look like a Wookiee or something.
I don't think the fans would have recognized it though if it wasn't for Bold.
They should if they're good fans.
Well,
We don't cater to the casuals here.
Yeah.
Not everyone's running a.
But they completely changed the Zindi insectoids. They're completely unrecognizable from Enterprise.
Who knows that they
Well,
haven't
the
all lost
Enterprise
their hair?
Indian insectoids looked ridiculous.
Look, there's one in the background. They're on the table to the left of this shot.
Pretty good. Maybe there's different kinds of insectoids, just like there's different kinds of arthropods.
There's one. That's a Zindi insectoid. Allegedly. Looks nothing like Enterprise.
That didn't even look insectoid, but okay.
Exactly.
I kind of like the Enterprise insectoids better then.
The Enterprise ones were just ants. It's just a big ant.
That's what I want.
They actually were they CGI in Enterprise?
Yes, absolutely they were.
Yeah.
Not necessarily good CGI some of the time.
It was pretty.
It was passable most of the time.
Occasionally there were scenes where it's like, no, that guy doesn't even have shadows. What are you doing?
Yeah.
For the most part,
in
it
the
was
video
fine.
games, in the video games I played at the time, they look just like the insect species in that video game. So polygons.
Also, Enterprise insectoids, their eyes were like half of their head.
Yeah.
You guys just got normal eyes.
Have you ever seen a microscopic image of an ant's face? Totally different than like the mandibles that we imagine it. It's a far more ugly and terrifying creature.
Most things are more ugly when you zoom in on them.
Yeah.
This looks like it's out of a horror movie, though.
Yeah, it does.
Let me
And,
post a couple pictures actually in the in Discord.
Yeah. It's really unreal how like I'm used to thinking of Zindi insectoids. And it's more
very
like
true.
it's not a caricature at all. It's like anyway, kind of wild.
But then, hang on, I found a different picture. This one just looks like an ant.
Yeah, it must be the angle that they're using or whatever. Because like in the second one also they're like all grayed out. If you could see a little bit more of their
They look like they're the same scale because of that like middle nose plate is the same size in both pictures.
True.
Didn't actually see how he got away with. Oh yeah, right, of course.
Why'd they make the eyes so red? If the eyes weren't red, he wouldn't look so monstrous. But I remember also like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Basically, they make friends with an ant and they feed him an Oreo cookie, and like the ant later dies.
Auntie.
I love how I was just
It was
mentioning
very emotional when the ant
Reno,
dies.
and then
It's very
we see her.
emotional.
I forgot.
Sorry, what happened, Soma? I missed it.
I was literally just saying that we didn't see what happened to Reno, and then she appeared on screen.
Hi, Jed. Here, we'll run it back. So they're back on their ship.
Nothing like coming home
And
to an
Gina,
unexpected hostage.
Jet's
am I
just
right?
hanging out on their ship with them now. She just lives there.
Yep.
Thanks, Soma.
All right. Cool beans. So next week we're gonna finish season 4. We're gonna go meet the Zelnaga. And then we're gonna start season 5. We're gonna do Red Directive.
And if I remember rightly, the nice thing about it being 5 seasons is it means that we're going to finish on the last episode with 3 episodes.
Yep. There will no... Let me try that sentence again. There are 10 episodes in season 5. We're going to watch one of them next week, leaving exactly 9 left, which is a nice divisible number for us.
Yep.
Golden ratio.
Shut up. I denounce you. All right, we're done.
Have a lovely time.
Okay, bye. Love you.